You are listening to the Vibrant Life Podcast, episode 24. The Vibrant Life. Hey you, welcome back to the Vibrant Life Podcast. My name is Emily Romrell, and we made it another week, my friends. It's crazy how fast time flies, but yet in the moment-to-moment struggles of everyday life, making it through the week can be an achievement. So if it's been tough, I'm proud of you for staying the course. Life is challenging, but it's also good. And I hope you've enjoyed some of the simple pleasures over the week as well. To me, that's where the true joys are found. Reading a good book, playing cards with friends, eating a delicious home-cooked meal. Those are the little heartbeat moments of a vibrant life. And anyway, I just felt like I needed a reminder, and maybe you did too, that the most important part of living a vibrant life is actually living it. And that means going through all of the ups and downs. Hopefully we learn some meaningful stuff along the way, and that's what this podcast is all about. If you're loving the podcast as much as I am, please do me a quick favor. Take 2 minutes to leave a review on iTunes and share the love with your friends. It does mean a lot, and we want to get the word out to as many people as possible. So moving on, this week I want to talk about rain. And we tend to think of rain as a downer. I mean, literally, the sky pours down on us, and it's understandable that we might feel discouraged or depressed. But like the Luke Bryan song, I think it's important to remember that rain is a good thing. And if we can embrace the rain in our lives, we're not only going to grow into better people, but we'll be a heck of a lot happier. If you're paying attention these days, you know that Utah, along with pretty much all of the western United States, is experiencing a severe drought right now. And according to what I found, I think it's the worst drought since 1956. And we're praying for rain and taking extra measures to ration water. Wildfires are a big issue because the land is so dry and farmers are worried about making it through the summer. So it's stressful, to say the least. We need rain. And I think about that, and I think about, physically or spiritually, why is it that so often we don't appreciate the rain when it does come? I mean, sometimes we get miffed because the weekend plans have to be changed due to stormy weather. And I get it. I don't like disappointment and gloomy skies any more than you do. But does it have to take a drought in our lives, whether it's really physically or spiritually, for us to appreciate rainy days? I feel like I've been experiencing some heavy rain lately. Things are just not playing out in my life the way that I think that they should. And you might say that the game that I wanted to play got canceled on account of rain. And it's hard to miss out on some of those things that you plan for and look forward to. There's a famous quote that goes, "Expectation is the root of all heartache." And I think that's one of the truest things I've ever heard. Side note, they say that was attributed to William Shakespeare, but a lot of sources claim that he didn't say that. So whoever it was a wise person. And unfulfilled expectations can cause a lot of pain. And there's another quote that I love that says, "If you are depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. If you're at peace, you're living in the moment." And that's from Lao Tzu. And I think I've quoted Lao Tzu a lot, but that guy knew his stuff. So I probably will have more quotes from him in the future. But to me, living in the moment is appreciating what is rather than focusing on what isn't, right? So if we can embrace the rain in our lives, even when it is painful, then we don't have to deal with that added grief of depression or anxiety because we're focusing on something we can't change. Let's consider the water cycle for a minute. So you probably remember this from grade school, but water in the ocean and lakes, etc., is evaporated by the sun, and water molecules collect and condense in the air as clouds. And then when the water molecules become too heavy, it rains or snows, and the water comes back down to earth. And why is this important? Well, I personally kind of think it's cool that the amount of water on the planet is relatively constant. It just has a cycle of change that it goes through. And that process of change allows water to travel all over the world. And it cleans the air and the land, and it sweeps away debris and makes room for things to grow. And things can't grow without water, right? That's essential. The other day I was talking to my dad, and he said that we have to deal with hard things so we can grow. My response to that was, I feel like I've been growing a lot lately. And it's true, but I'm not alone. In the last couple of weeks, I've personally talked to people who are also in the process of growing, and they're dealing with hard things like divorce or cancer, loneliness, abuse, losing jobs, and the list just kind of goes on and on. We all have our things, and the more that I go through, the more compassion that I have for the things other people go through, and I just realized that we all have hard times where we have to deal with rain in our lives. But I hope that we can learn from nature and realize that the benefits are there and that we do have benefits from rain in our lives. And, our worth as human beings is constant. It doesn't change. We always have the same value, which is priceless. But life is a cycle of change, and changes that allow our minds and spirits to travel to higher planes of thought and empathy and understanding, and hard times that clean out old patterns of behavior that aren't working, and they sweep away the debris of things that we don't need anymore, but we might have a hard time of letting go of. And so those hard times can help us make room so we can grow. I wrote a song a long time ago called Rainbows when I was struggling. It's sort of become an anthem in my life because I know there's always hope even when we are in the middle of very stormy weather. And after the storm, the sun comes out again. But in the meantime, there are those rainbows. And I've shared this song before on my website, but I felt like I wanted to share it with y'all on the podcast. So here it is. I hope you can find some meaning in it, that it might make a difference if you're having a hard time. And I hope you have a great week, everybody. Live the vibrant life.
Long, long ago, on a boat on the sea, was a man named Noah who prayed mightily. He said, Lord, help me to understand the pain. Help me, please, to survive the rain. After 40 days were a trial of faith. Noah looked up with a smile on his face. There in the sky, a rainbow testified that no storm will ever overcome if you believe in the sun. There are rainbows in the sky when I feel the rain in my life shining through the darkness and fear. Are rainbows the sign of hope? In this life, there are trials we must face, and we might not understand the pain. Every to survive the rain. Now is the time for my trial of faith. Someday I'll look up with a smile on my face. But until that time, the rainbows testify that no storm will ever overcome if I believe in the sun. There are rainbows in the sky when I feel the rain in my life shining through the darkness and fear. Our rainbows, the sign of hope. Rainbows are signs of hope.
The Vibrant Life.